Hey guys, what's up? It's Cassie and I am back with yet another video. Today, this video is going to be all about how to oil paint flowers for beginners. So if you're looking for something to teach you how to do this, if you're looking for something fun and easy, then this is a great video for you to watch and learn how to do this. Super quick, super easy. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so before we get started, I'm just going to show you quickly all of the colors and mixtures I used. Okay, so this is my reference picture. I will keep it on the screen while we're painting. All right, so we have our image there at the side. It's not going to be exact, but again, this is just for reference so we know loosely what we want to do. So this is the kind of paintbrush I'm going to be using first. It's going to be good for blocking in the colors and the base of our flowers. So I'm going to start by painting that one large peach flower at the top of the image. So I have some linseed oil on my brush, and then I am putting my paintbrush into that darker peach. And then this stage is basically just blocking in the color anywhere that I think that dark peach is going to show up. That's where I'm going to place it on my paper. Alright, so now we're moving on to the dark purple kind of crimson flowers. So I'm just using straight up crimson paint, dipping my brush in some linseed oil and blocking in the color for these flowers. And then don't worry about all the darkness in it. We're going to go back in and add that darkness in later. So our flowers are coming to life. We have our base there. Now I'm going to be going back in with this dark purple kind of color that we've already mixed, and I'm going to be adding in those darker spaces that we see in those purpley kind of roses. Alright, and so what I'm doing here is pushing the brush up and over to create a petal shape. Okay, so when we look at these purple roses closer, they have kind of this bluish purple color in the very middle. So I'm just taking some of that color on the edge of my brush and just dotting and creating some lines. I'm just using the very angle of this paintbrush to dab these little details in there. Alright, so now I'm going to be taking a smaller version a more narrowed version of the last paintbrush, and I'm going to be putting it into some of the linseed oil that I have here, and then into the darker peach color that I mixed beforehand, and I'm just going to be placing that inside the peach flowers, adding in those darker shadows. Alright, so now I'm going to be taking some of the pink that I've already mixed and adding that into the peach flower as well. And essentially the process now is just changing from color to color, adding in some white, going back, adding in some more peach, some lighter peach, until I get the flower to look how I want it to look and until I'm satisfied with it. Alright, so the next step is to grab an even smaller version of the last paintbrush that I used to get into a smaller space. I'm going to be taking this olive green and using it for the center of the flowers. So I'm just creating kind of a half moon shape, just dotting the olive green in there, and then I'm going to be going in with a darker green with a little bit of black in there, just for the very center of the flower. So taking some of my ivory black, I'm just going to be placing this in the very middle of these plum colored flowers, just for the very center, and then I'm also going to be using some of the ivory black and adding even darker shadows on top of that dark purple that we've placed in there already. Okay, and for the highlights, now I'm going to be using this fine tipped painting brush and just dipping it into some of the white and then into some of the crimson that I have here and using some of the linseed oil. And then I'm just going to be placing those highlights in some of the white spots that I've left open on that one flower, and anywhere else that I see in the image that there is a highlight, or anywhere that I feel like there should be a highlight, because again, this is your own creation and it doesn't have to be exactly the way that the reference image looks. now I'm going to be focusing in on some of those little blue flowers. So I'm just taking this lighter blue, again with that very fine point painting brush, and then I'm just adding them on the outside here, just creating these little petal shapes that kind of all converge into one center section. Okay, so I'm now taking some of the straight phthalo blue and just creating the same flowers, but ones that are going to be more shaded, so they are darker in color. And then I'm going to be going into the lighter blue flowers and adding some of that darker blue in there as well to create some definition. Okay, now I'm going to be taking some of that blue off of my brush, and I'm going to be using some white and taking that and going around the blue petals because there is some white on the outsides of the flower. It's okay if some of the blue and the white get a little mixed up together because it actually helps the flower to look a little bit more realistic. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing that, putting some of the white paint on the inside as well, and finishing up these flowers with a little black ivory dot in the center of them. Okay, so I'm not going to be painting all of the flowers in the reference picture because this is just a beginner's demonstration, but we are going to move on to the leaves and the greenery now. So I'm just taking a dark green and creating kind of like an upside down, well, this one's a regular teardrop, but also some upside down teardrops, and I'm going to be basically just switching the different colors of greens. The best way to make greens appear lifelike is to just use as many different shades as you can and kind of get multiple shades on your brush. So if you put your brush in a dark green and a light green and then proceed to use it, it creates a really cool kind of lifelike looking green. And so essentially this process is just creating little leaves and little sprouts every which way. Anywhere you feel like you want to add in some greenery, then go ahead and do that. And then this is our last step, you guys. guys, so this is the final product. Pretty simple, not a lot of detail in there, but this is just a demonstration for beginners. I hope it helped you guys out. You can follow me on any of my social media platforms. I will list that below. You can subscribe and you can like or leave me a comment about what I should paint next, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!